Here at Channel Makers, we have been using VidIQ for years. Long enough to know that we don't actually use it. Not all that often at least, and we've even done sponsored videos. So we've actively looked for ways to use it, tried out all the tools, we've had the premium versions, and really tried to figure out exactly how much you can do with it. But in the end, we find that there's only a couple features we really use consistently. I want to help you figure out if the paid version is worth it for you, and if not, just which ones are the most helpful. Even if you get the free version, your time is valuable, and I don't want you to have to waste a lot of time testing out features that you ultimately aren't going to even want. And so in this video, I'm going to try to help you figure out which features are the best, which ones you'll actually use, and also help you figure out if you want to get the paid version. We also have 2 other videos on similar topics that came out this week. We have a TubeBuddy video that is an in-depth review of TubeBuddy, so watch that later, and we have a TubeBuddy versus VidIQ where we put them head to head and compare which one is actually better and more worth the money. So this video is unsponsored, although we are affiliates. We have an affiliate link in the description right now, but I really hope it's already obvious that we are unbiased and trying to give you honest, helpful information. So I'm gonna go over with you the free features that I find the most helpful, the paid features that I find the most helpful, and then finally talk about their new AI software because it's really interesting, and I did some tests and I was honestly surprised by the results. I've been telling everybody around here about it. So free features, the #1 thing that I use all the time, and I use it so much that if I am using a browser or on a YouTube channel that doesn't have it, I immediately notice because I need this feature. It is the thing where you click into the video and then they have the thumbnail on the side of the video. So typically when you click into a YouTube video, you can no longer see the thumbnail. With the VidIQ extension, the free version, you can see the thumbnail of that video on the side, which I know it sounds like how could that even be a big deal, but trust me, it is so nice. Also, you're probably thinking that that's really just relevant to us because we do YouTube strategy. And in a way that's true, it's slightly more relevant to us. But if you are trying to grow a YouTube channel on any topic, it's really helpful to do industry research, to look at what other people in similar topics or even completely different topics are doing for their thumbnails and how those match up against the actual video content itself. It is so nice to be able to watch a video and then look over to the side and see what the thumbnail is, especially with these new autoplay things where the videos start playing automatically and so you only get to see the thumbnail for a second anyways. It can be so frustrating. So definitely VidIQ is worth it. The download, the free version is worth it for that feature alone. Okay, the next one I really like is the daily ideas. With the free version, you only get a couple of them each day. And I don't think the video ideas are anything too spectacular. You can get pretty much the same quality of ideas from ChatGPT for completely free, and you can get as many as you want from ChatGPT. The nice thing about VidIQ is that they're kind of all in one place. You don't have to like re-put in your channel topic every time because it remembers what your topic is, and it's really easy to save the ideas. Next is the competitor analysis. Now you can only compare yourself against a few competitors with the free version, but it's still nice, and you can switch those out so that if you are willing to just keep putting in new competitors, you can see how your channel is doing against a bunch more than just a few competitors. It's just you can't see it all at once, so it's slightly less convenient. I don't like to spend a lot of time comparing ourselves anyways, although it is kind of nice to get a climate, if you will, of how the overall industry is doing, especially in like a slow period. It's nice to see, is this an industry-wide thing? Is it some seasonality thing? Or is it specific to our channel and maybe we need to step it up? Now for paid features, kind of the same ones. Again, I really like the daily ideas, and I think the daily ideas get significantly better with the paid version, not because the ideas themselves are better, but because you can look at a bunch at one time and scroll through. With the free version, often the first 2, you're not gonna even like them anyways. They might feel kind of overly basic or just not be ideas you wanna do, or maybe you've already thought of them. But with the paid version, you get to look at a lot at once, and that really helps with the brainstorming process, especially if you kind of mix and match them and come up with your own ideas based on little bits from different ideas they have, and you can just look at more at once, get more ideas at one time. Is it worth it to pay for the paid version for that? It depends, obviously, on how much you think you need it, how much you want that convenience. Again, I think you can get about the same thing from ChatGPT. It's just much less convenient than it is in VidIQ. The next thing I like about the paid version is the competitor analysis. You get to compare yourself against a lot of channels at once, and that's pretty helpful to see an overall big picture and gives you more ideas of who to collaborate with. Okay, so you might have noticed that those are the same ones that were my favorite features of the free plan, and they are slightly better in the paid version. Now, there are some features that you can only get with the paid plan, but I don't actually find them to be all that impressive. I have nothing against VidIQ. In fact, I think it's an awesome tool because you can get some really helpful things for absolutely free. I just don't know if the paid plan is worth it for most people. Okay, but I promised you we would talk about the AI, so let's get into that because this one was a doozy. I was pretty shocked by what happened. So they have this new AI thing and looks like they're putting a lot of work into it. It's a big portion of the whole homepage on VidIQ now. So they have this whole AI like suite. There's a lot of different features in it. They have things like channel audits, video ideas, and they'll even script out your videos. So those are some pretty neat features. And I had it do a channel audit and it gave me some advice that was kind of helpful, slightly generic. It was definitely pulling some data from our YouTube channel. In fact, it said that we have a mostly male audience, so we should work on making more content that appeals to our female audience. Now, for this channel specifically, that probably makes sense. But let's say you had a niche targeting stay-at-home dads. Well, that's not going to make sense, right? So they're taking your data and drawing a conclusion, which may or may not be right. Or I should say the AI is taking your channel's data and drawing a conclusion. There's two factors to that. One is that you can already get that information from the YouTube analytics itself. You don't need a VidIQ extension. You can go find that data on your channel already. The other thing is it's probably better for you to draw your own conclusions because in the example I just gave, they're not always right. It might give you some good ideas though. Now, I wanted to see how it would do with community post ideas because a while ago, I tried asking ChatGPT for community post ideas and it really didn't seem to know much about what a YouTube community post was. It almost just gave me ideas for something that would be good for like a social media post, but definitely not specific to community posts. Now, ChatGPT seems to have figured out what YouTube community posts are much better, so it gives pretty good ideas. I love using ChatGPT for ideas for community posts. And I wanted to ask a similar question on VidIQ. And so I went over to the tab where it says that it gets your channel data. Click that, and then I asked this question because I wanted to see how it would do in another niche that wasn't YouTube strategy specific. I wasn't actually trying to check it, but let's look at what happened. So I asked, give me a community post idea for a channel about Legos. VidIQ's AI said, based on your channel's recent performance and niche, I have a community post idea for you. Since your channel is about Legos, you could create a post asking your audience to share their favorite Lego sets or creations they built recently. This will encourage engagement, interaction, blah, blah, blah. I get that I kind of put it in a tough spot, but I would have been way more impressed if it said something like, I don't have enough data to give you an answer on this, or based on your channel's data, this doesn't seem relevant to your niche, or based on your channel's data, I can't give you anything helpful. I wish it would have recognized in some way that it didn't know, rather than kind of pretend like it's a scripted, canned answer, that it did know that my channel was about Legos, even though I was on the Channel Makers account, and Channel Makers is not about Legos. I don't want to be too hard on it. It is still in the beta version, and it's AI, so you can only expect so much, but I just think it's really important to not overestimate how much it's using your channel's data to come up with this information. If this is being helpful at all, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So what of these tools is actually worth using? There are a lot of different tools, and you might find different ones useful than I did. So I definitely suggest that you get the free version and even maybe sign up for the paid version with our super steep discount. It makes it practically free for the first month. Just don't forget to cancel. Maybe even put a reminder on your phone so that you don't forget and accidentally get charged for something you're not using. We honestly don't use many of these features at all. We use the thumbnail one like every day. But as far as the daily ideas and even the competitor analysis, we've used it a handful of times over the last couple of years, probably like once every 3 to 6 months. So honestly, like we just don't use it that much, even though it's helpful. Could we use it more? Yes, but if we're not using it, even though we've kind of been trying to use it, I'd be really, really hesitant to tell anybody that they need it. And I just really want to give you an honest review. So we also have 2 other videos about similar topics. So we have a TubeBuddy one that just came out this week where we do an in-depth analysis of TubeBuddy, and then also a VidIQ versus TubeBuddy where we put them head to head and compare all the features and which one comes out on top with each thing. So check those out and we'll see you there.